afternoon, friends, and good afternoon, ma'am. Today I'm here with a common topic, that is pulmonary tuberculosis. So we already have seen and we have already learned more about this disease condition even in our BSc time also. So the same thing, but we'll have a small review, not review, but we'll have a small update on this topic. So as we all know, this pulmonary tuberculosis, that is TB, is one of the most prevalent infections of human being and contributes considerably to the illness and death around the world. It is spread by inhaling tiny droplets of saliva from the cough or sneeze of an infected person. It is an slowly spreading chronic granulomatous bacterial infection characterized by weight loss. So while seeing the patient with TB, already while seeing the patient's appearance, also body mass, also we'll identify that patient is suffering from TB because of we'll have severe muscle wasting. So that is a main symptom, not symptom, a sign. Other than that, a cough, sneezing, etc. is there. We'll go detail on this. So the definition of this tuberculosis, that is pulmonary tuberculosis, tuberculosis is a infectious disease primarily affecting the lung parenchyma. It's the most common caused by Mycobacterium tuberculosis. It may spread to any part of the body, including the meninges, kidney, bones, and lymph nodes. So we all are aware about these things, right? So we know that this is a lung mainly affecting the lung parenchyma, and this is not be settled in the lungs, but it also may spread to the other vital organs also. So that is a definition about this pulmonary tuberculosis. So next we'll see what the types in the sense we have pulmonary tuberculosis like will affect in the lungs, and avian tuberculosis like brain, bovine like from the cattle, and miliary tuberculosis. So these are the types of tuberculosis. Next we can see the incidence in the sense how it happens and where it is spreading and all, its most distribution. So with the increased incidence of AIDS, TB has become the more a problem in the US and the world. It is currently estimated that half of the world's population is infected with the Mycobacterium tuberculosis. So global emergency tuberculosis kills 5,000 people a day. 2.3 million die each year. So this is the incidence of TB. Next we can see the most important etiology, the causative factor of pulmonary tuberculosis. Like we have Mycobacterium tuberculosis, that is the main causative bacteria of of causing this disease. Then from the droplet nuclei from exposure to any other TB patients. Next we can see the risk factors in the sense when we have close contact with who have active TB, immunocompromised status, drug abuse and alcoholism, people lacking adequate health care, pre-existing medical conditions like DM and CKD, immigrants from the countries which higher incidence of TB is there. Then institutionalization, that is long-term care facility, like if you are admitted for a long term in a hospital, it's a chance for getting TB there from the hospital, like nosocomial infection. Living in substandard condition, like a poor lack of poverty is one of the reasons, like in the place where it is not properly sanitated or proper cleanliness is not there, so chance of getting TB from the unsanitated places. Then occupation, like mostly if you are seeing our prevalence rate also, we can see most of the health workers are affected with the tuberculosis because of their occupation. Next we can see the detail on the pathophysiology of this tuberculosis. So that is the most important part in this disease condition. So how it happens, as we all know, initially this infection due to some primary infection like a direct contact from the nuclei, from the droplet nuclei, or from contact with the person, etc. So from the primary infection, it leads to entry of microorganisms through the droplet nuclei. Bacteria is transmitted to the alveoli through the airways. Then deposition and multiplication of bacteria take place. Bacilli are also transported to other parts of the body through bloodstream and phagocytosis by neutrophils and macrophages. Then accumulation of exudate in the alveoli leads to bronchopneumonia and leads to new tissue masses of live and dead bacilli are surrounded by the macrophages, which form a protective mass around the granulomas. So as we all know that this granulomas then transforms to the fibrous to the tissue mass and central portion, which is called gone, that is Gons tuberculi, and the material becomes necrotic, forming the cheesy mass becomes calcificated and become collagenous scar. As the scar increases, the bacteria becomes dominant and no further progression of active diseases. This leads to inadequate immune response, activation of dormant bacteria. The gone tuberculi ulcerate and releasing cheesy metal in the bronchi. Bacteria become airborne, resulting in further spread of infection. Ulcerated tuberculi heals and become scar tissue. Infected lung become inflamed, further development of pneumonia tuberculosis formation. Unless the process is arrested, it spreads down to the hilum of the lungs and later it extends to the adjacent lobes. So this is a main pathophysiology. Main thing is the presence of Gons tuberculosis. That is a main factor in this pathophysiology. So here most happens as through the primary infection, get colonization of bacteria take place and formation of Gons tuberculosis, and ultimately leads to pneumonia also, tuberculin. So that is about the pathophysiology. So next we see on the clinical manifestation. So clinical manifestation we have divided into constitutional symptoms. Like we have constitutional symptoms like we have anorexia, low grade fever, night sweat, fatigue, weight loss. Then mainly next is pulmonary symptoms. Like we have dyspnea, non-resolving bronchopneumonia, chest tightness, non-productive cough, mucopurulent sputum with hemoptysis, chest pain. Next is extra pulmonary symptoms like we have pain and inflammations. Next we can see the assessment and diagnostic findings, like mainly detailed history collection on from where the patient has been get this one, whether he has contacted with other TB or any other predisposing factors are there, etc. We can to collect it through history collection. Physical examination like inspection, palpation, percussions and all, like muscle wasting is there or not, cough, sneezing, dyspnea, pain, inflammations, other than like that we have to see the physical examinations. Then we can like in under that we can see that clubbing of fingers and toes, swollen and tender lymph nodes in the neck or other areas, fluid around the lungs, unusual breath sound. These are the physical. Other than that we'll go for biopsy of affected tissue, bronchoscopy, chest CT scan, QFT, that is it is a gold test, sputum examination, thoracensis, tuberculin skin test. Next is we'll see on complication. So the complication already I've told, it is not be settled in this lungs, but it also spreads to other vital organs, right? So as we all know, in bones it leads to spinal pain and joint destruction may result from TB that affects your bones. So as we all know, brain, the important thing that is TB meningitis, that is the main thing that happens in the brain. Meningitis, same bacteria as caused leads to TB meningitis. Liver and kidney diseases, heart also, pleural effusion leads to TB pneumonia. Next we can see the exact medical management of this disease condition. So medical management in the sense, pulmonary tuberculosis is treated primarily with the that is anti-tuberculin agents for 6 to 12 months. So it is a compulsory to have 6 to 12 month course of anti-tuberculin drugs. So pharmacological management, like we have first line anti-tuberculin medication, like we have streptomycin 50 mg per kg, isoniazid or INH we'll call as 5 mg per kg, that is rifampicin 10 mg per kg, ethambutol that is 12 to 25 mg per kg daily for 8 weeks and continuing up to 4 to 7 months. So that is about the medical management. It is about the first line treatment, like first line anti-tuberculin drugs. Next we can see on the second line medications. As we all know, this the second line medication, in the sense we will mainly focus on the capricomycin, that is capreomycin 12 to 15 mg per kg, then ethinomide, that is 15 mg per kg, then we'll concentrate on the paraminos salicylate sodium, that is 200 to 300 mg per kg, then cycloserine, that is 50 mg per kg. So this is about the second line medication. And vitamin B, that is pyridoxine, usually administered with INH, that is isoniazid. Next we'll see on the third line in the sense other drugs that may be useful but are not on list of it, that is like main drugs are rifampicin, macrolides, or the clarithromycin CLR or linezolid, thioacetosone, that is we call as T, then thioridazine, then we'll call as arginine. So these are the third line drugs. Before that, after third line drugs, mostly we'll see on DOTS therapy. We all know about the DOTS, that is directly observed treatment, that is short course treatment. The name given to the World Health Organization recommended tuberculosis control strategy that combines 5 components, like government commitment including um, both political will at all the levels and establishing a centralized and prioritized system of TB monitoring, recording, and training. So we all know about this DOTS, rather direct observation of the patient. Like we have to assure that whether they have taken full course at a time, that full properly they are taking the medications and all. Case detection by sputum smear microscopy. Standardized treatment regimen directly observed by a healthcare worker of community health workers for at least the first 2 months. A regular drug supply. A standardized recording and reporting system that allows assessment of treatment results. Mainly results in doubt is especially critical for patients with drug resistant TB, HIV infected patients, and those on intermittent treatment regimen. Next, we see on the multi drug therapy. Multi drug therapy in the sense multi-drug in the sense multi-drug therapy is a treatment of TB means taking several different anti-tuberculin drugs at the same time. So the standard treatment is to take isoniazid, rifampicin, ethambutol and pyrazinamide for 2 months. Treatment is then continued for at least 4 months with fewer medications. Next is about the nursing management. This is about the medical management. Next is nursing. So only TB is controlled only by this medical management, right? In the sense only anti-tuberculin drugs are properly used in order to control this tuberculosis. Next is nursing management. So assessment in the sense obtain history of exposure to TB, assess for symptoms of active diseases, auscultate lungs for crackles. During drug therapy, assess for liver function. Nursing diagnosis in the sense ineffective breathing pattern related to pulmonary infection and potential for long-term scarring with the decreased lung capacity. So in that we'll see like we'll administer and teach self-administration medication ordered, encourage rest and avoidance of exertion, monitor breath sound, respiratory rate, sputum production and dyspnea, provide supplemental oxygenation as ordered, encourage increased fluid intake, instruct about best position to facilitate drainage. Next is risk for spreading infections related to nature of disease and patient symptoms. Be aware that TB is transmitted by respiratory droplets. Use high efficiency particulate maskers for high risk procedures including the endoscopy. Next, educate the patient to control and spread of infections by covering the mouth and nose while coughing and sneezing. Isolation of patient. Instruct about risk of drug resistance if drug regimen is not strictly and continuously followed. Carefully monitor the vital signs and observe for temperature changes. Next is imbalanced nutrition less than the body requirement related to poor appetite, fatigue and productive cough. So here in the sense explain the importance of eating nutritious diet to promote healing and defense against infections. Provide small frequent meals. Monitor weight of this patient. Administer vitamin supplements as ordered. Next, non-complaints related to lack of motivation and lack of treatment. Educate patient about etiology, transmissions and effects of TB. Review adverse effects of drug therapy, that is participate in observation of medicine, taking weekly pills, count on program designed. Explain that TB is a communicable disease and that taking medication is most effective way of preventing transmission. Instruct about the medication schedule and side effect. Next is prevention. Prevention in the sense most thing is isolation. Isolate the person. Next is ventilate the room. Proper ventilation is required for the room. Cover the mouth. Wear the mask. Finish entire course of medication. Vaccination is necessary. And we all know about the like BCG vaccination is given to the patient for tuberculosis. So it is very much compulsory. Prevention is proper as vaccination, isolation, proper wearing of mask. That is close your mouth like you have to cover your mouth while sneezing or even coughing also. So that is a main prevention step. So that's about this small disease condition. Actually we all are familiar with this one. So this is on this this is about this condition like TB. So we have discussed what is TB, what is the definition, what are the main etiological factors, and pathophysiology, clinical manifestations, different manifestation assessment, diagnostic studies, and complications, medical management, and we are seeing on the second line treatment, third line management, DOTS, multi-drug therapy, nursing management, nursing drugs and all. And we also see on the prevention of TB. Thank you all.